Hey everyone, now back to the movies from June.
Rapid fire.
All right, Gio, I think you could go on this one because it's the one you've been waiting for. It's one of two that you watched, yeah.
Also, I remember I watched another movie last week.
Oh.
Yeah, so I can add that. I don't know if anybody else watched it. You maybe. I don't know.
Let's go with the one.
But yeah, so the only kind of other movie I watched, of course, knowing me, is Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness.
Ooh, the other multiverse movie.
The other multiverse movie that
you might have heard of.
Yeah,
small little.
This one's super indie.
Yeah.
Small studio
theater
called Disney.
Yeah, it's in Vietnamese.
Tiny
I
budget.
think.
I think it was shot on it's on a VHS tape or something.
Dang.
Just squiggly like stick figures for special effects. Yeah, so of course this is the continuation of the Doctor Strange storyline plus a little bit of what had happened off of Spider-Man
No Way Home.
And on the TV side, WandaVision.
Yeah.
So this is the culmination of like those three stories that come into this movie. So of course stars Benedict Cumberbatch as Doctor Strange, Elizabeth Olsen, Benedict Wong, and then we get introduced to
Xochitl Gomez.
Yes. As America's namesake, America Chavez. So you're gonna probably hate your name more now.
America.
I don't know if that's possible.
You're in
No,
Marvel
I
now.
already knew she existed. I'm not offended by it.
Neta?
So yeah, the whole thing is well, I'm trying to remember.
I remember. You
yeah,
want
so
me to tell you?
yeah, go for it. I'm pretty sure you can probably do something better.
Yeah, so America Chavez is running around the multiverse, right? Because she's being chased by like some evil entity, and she runs into our Doctor Strange. She said, "Help me, please! Somebody's trying to kill me." So they have to travel the multiverses to get away from what they find out is Wanda. Wanda is trying to kill this child because America Chavez has the ability to jump between universes. You know, so she wants that power to be able to go find her kids that she left behind at the end of WandaVision.
That got taken from her.
Yeah, and that's the part of the movie.
Damn, CPS came. This is very much like what's it called? The Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Yes.
How she got chosen because she didn't know how to do anything. I mean, America Chavez doesn't know how she got there, right?
Yeah.
Did you actually watch this one, America?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, so you go first.
It's not I'll give it an N because I like, it was good, not great. Following, No Way Home and stuff. Like it's not that strong. You can tell that this is another bridge movie where
Most Marvel movies are.
no,
The
but like
filler
but
episodes?
but like this one, it feels like it's more like the establishing, like it's in the Marvel direction because Spider-Man kind of did it. It does, it has a Marvel connection, but it's still kind of that Sony universe that's out there. Because this one involves the more of the Marvel characters, whatever. So this is, kind of helping establish what is this Phase 4 is going to be, and all this, is it a multiverse? Knowledge about the multiverse, introducing more of the multiverse, especially because eventually Ant-Man's going to be Quantumania later on. Yeah. So that's more...
All these words.
Yeah, so that's more multiverse, but in tiny forms.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, like I said, it's good, not great. I think it's one of the darker Marvel movies.
It definitely is billed as a horror movie, yeah. So.
Like it's got horror elements.
Yeah.
Like it might not be full on horror, but like it's, let's say, cartoony horror. There's a lot of fan service in this movie.
Gee,
Sure.
you don't say.
No,
In
like
a Marvel
but
movie?
casting wise in certain aspects.
Okay.
I'm all like, it's been out for a couple of weeks, and I'm sure we'll talk about it. But in a little bit. But what about you
Let
guys?
her go, yeah.
Oh, perfect, because I don't have that much to say. I only watched maybe 40 minutes of it. I had to leave, and I didn't care that I was leaving. I was excited.
In the theater?
Yeah.
Wow.
And
She
so,
just want to
like,
go walk
it's-
around, just like, hey, Ricardo, I'll call you one of them.
So, like, this is maybe 30 minutes into the movie where, I don't know, some other Doctor Strange maybe tells, no, somebody. Who
It could be.
is it? Somebody tells the present Doctor Strange, the one that knows America, tells him, oh my God, you might not be dealing with Wanda. You might be dealing with dun, 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 the Scarlet Witch. And it's like, yeah, she said that in the first scene. Like, oh my God. All this for that? So I'm so happy I didn't stick around for the rest of it. I hate how Marvel movies look, you guys. Like, you know, like you were saying, like the visuals and everything everywhere all at once. Like, wow, how did you do that?
Yeah.
Marvel, what the hell? Like, it
It's
looks
very
like
copy-paste.
watching Toy Story, like the first Toy Story right now, knowing what we know about what people can do with animation. You know what I mean? Like, I hate it. It just looks so bad. And it just, in the little that I saw, I was just like, ugh. So.
Question. Oh, let's wait till you were
Oh, no, yeah, that's it.
delete.
I'm going to say out because I didn't watch the whole thing. But I probably, if I had seen the whole
It probably would have ended up with
Yeah.
the
Question. You went to the theater with Ricardo?
Yeah.
Did he stay or did he want
No. We left.
Yeah.
Oh, he followed? I thought you were like, hey, I'll come pick you up after.
No.
All right, so it's my turn. All right, so I'm more on the Geo side where like I watch all the Marvel stuff. I pretty much love all the Marvel stuff. I love the ongoing storyline. I loved WandaVision. You guys know, you guys remember that?
Yeah.
And coming into this one, I was really looking forward to it because they hired Sam Raimi to direct.
Oh,
And they
yeah,
said
yeah.
it's gonna be Marvel's first horror movie. I was like, they always say that shit and they never deliver. So like I was really happy to see that it did feel like a Sam Raimi movie. I know maybe like cinematography wise, like it's not really impressive, but like all those little quirks that he does, like in his horror stuff, he brought that into the movie, and I really appreciated that. Another thing that I appreciated was that when we heard Multiverse of Madness, the title, and after seeing No Way Home, a lot of people thought that this was going to be a movie where they're jumping into like different movie universes. Like they're going to jump to the X-Men where, what Hugh Jackman is Wolverine. They're going to jump to this other movie, and then we're going to be basically doing a tour of all these cameos, you know, the fan servicey stuff.
Yeah.
The fact that it wasn't that, really, I appreciated that. I was like, oh, it's kind of its own thing, even though they do the fan servicey stuff too.
Yeah.
I mean, they did bring out like all everyone in their wheelchair, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
But I gotta say, for me, this is a delete.
Oh,
I really didn't enjoy this movie, and it's funny, America. You talked about walking out. I've never walked out of a movie, to be honest, in a theater. I turned off movies at home, but I never walked out of a movie.
Yeah.
I didn't walk out of this one, but the thought did cross my mind.
Damn.
I was like, I want to leave, and why? Because look, there's been plenty of Marvel movies that I haven't really, whatever. They've been subpar, whatever. Brush them off, you forget about them. This is the first time where I was like, I genuinely don't agree with the direction that they went.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, this is all wrong. And what's wrong about it is Wanda.
Oh.
To me, the way they
I've
treated...
seen a lot of Wanda outrage on
To
Twitter.
me,
What is
the
that?
way,
What is that?
with the direction that they went with her character was completely wrong, and it felt such a betrayal that I just couldn't stand it. That's what made me walk out. Let me finish. I love WandaVision. Remember we were talking about the whole thing about it, right? What I love about that show was that it took a character who was never really developed in any of the movies, and it developed her.
Yeah.
Right? It gave her such a great story arc, right?
Yeah.
And in this one, it's just like, none of that matters. We're turning into, we're going to turn her into Michael Myers, into Jason Voorhees. And it's just...
So is the outrage that she became the villain?
Not so much the villain is the way that she became the villain. Because look, here's how WandaVision ended. Wait. Okay. Here's how WandaVision ended. She had to kill the person she loved, right? She had to kill. Yeah.
She had to sacrifice Vision.
Yeah.
And in her grief, she created this world where she was alive with him, and they had kids, right?
Yeah.
But what she came to find out is that she didn't just create the world; she enslaved a bunch of people to build that reality, right?
Yeah.
And when she found that out, she sacrificed her happiness, essentially, right? She sacrificed her happiness for the greater good. She sacrificed her kids for the greater good, right?
So it sets her up as now again a good person.
Or somebody that's like complex, maybe,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
willing to do the right thing, you know? Now all of a sudden you're going to tell me that same character is willing to kill a child
Yeah.
to go find her kids? And all in the service just to make her a cartoon,
Yeah.
right? Just to make her be like the Michael Myers chasing.
Yeah.
There was sequences in this movie that I was like, I should love this because it's horror, right? It's like that horror stuff that I love. Fucking, I've seen it in so
That
many
sewer
slasher.
scene?
Yeah, where it's like the killer chasing the and there's like jump scares and all that stuff, like all that
shit.
style. I was like, I should be loving this, but it was such a betrayal of that character
Yeah.
that. And look, you could have her be like evil. You could have Doctor Strange and her be adversaries, but the writing has to be good. Like in Civil War, even going back to another Marvel movie, it's two like good guys fighting against each other.
Yeah.
But in that movie, we see both sides. So we're like, either one of them could be right.
Yeah.
And in this one, it's just so clearly like a cartoon. Like, I want to kill the kids, and Doctor
Yeah.
Strange is like, no, you can't do that. And what
Yeah.
pisses me off is that Doctor Strange, his character, I've never really liked his movies, but his character is essentially has always been like a really cocky, like he's really good at what he does. He's
Yeah.
really cocky.
He's
right?
arrogant.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm gonna break all the rules and still win, right?
Yeah.
And in every movie he's done that. He's like, they
Yeah.
go, don't do that, Doctor Strange, and that's how he saves the day, right?
Yeah.
And it only like enforces his cockiness, right?
Yeah.
And if you're gonna have a character like that, fine. But in order for the character to be good, he has to grow, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's
And-
why Iron Man
and-
worked,
and
because
what's
he's kind
funny-
of the same.
And it was funny is
personality.
that the movie, like, it's insulting because Wanda tells him that.
Yeah.
He's like, you break the rules and you get called a hero.
Yeah.
I break the
Oh,
rules and
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
a villain,
Uh-huh.
right? That's a very good line to set up the movie.
Yeah.
But then it just like, he just keeps doing those things
Yeah.
and he's just the good guy. And now you're going to make her the bad guy?
Yeah.
For what? A cartoon? You could have them. You could have had a better story
Yeah.
where they are against each other, but you need better writing. You need like some nuance. And
Yeah.
the fact that it was just a cartoon, when I was watching it, what made me want to walk out, I was like, because I love WandaVision, like I
Yeah.
love that character, and it was just, it was so heartbreaking. But when I was watching, I was like, there's two things that are gonna happen this week. Either one or the other is gonna happen. Either A, they're gonna punt her character to another movie and
Yeah.
just redeem her somehow, right?
Yeah.
Or they're gonna redeem her in this one in some stupid way where she sacrifices herself.
And it happens.
And I couldn't bear that thought, and I wanted to walk out.
Yeah.
And that's what happened.
Dang.
She sacrifices herself at the end.
That is so ugly because like
Oh no, like yeah, like kind of piggybacking. Like, so the criticism online is that she's pretty much a hormonal woman going on a rampage because her kids were taken away. So it's kind of like Llorona, it's like mis niños, like that whole kind of thing. That's why, like that's the criticism. They cheapen the character by just making her kind of like an emotional woman that's just like
It's just very
killing
one-dimensional.
everything.
yeah.
Like, I'm gonna kill everybody
Just because of her
just
kids.
to get my my
Yeah,
kids.
that's
So
what I was gonna say. That I guess
that's-
that does make sense. That how Wanda says like you get to be the hero, and now
Yeah.
all of a sudden like
Yeah.
you look at me
So
like yeah, because it is the gender bias. Like he is the leader of this movie, I guess, right?
Yeah.
He's leading America to I don't know, fucking learn
His-
her powers or whatever,
you-
and he isn't. They said that he fucking gave Thanos a ring or some shit. I don't
The
know, right?
stone.
So he's so he's just
It's-
already like an up in the air guy. So yeah, it does seem like you built a really good world for Wanda, and then you do just
You cheapened it
let
just
her
in service
go.
of it, just to
Yeah,
have
that
like
is kinda
a
sad.
scene. You cheapened it just to have a scene where she chops people in half.
Ooh.
And it's like, look,
Yeah.
I'm a guy who watches Friday the
Speaking
13th
of
Part
fan
5
service, yes.
every year, right?
Yeah.
I love seeing people get chopped in half and those weird to say. But if I wanted to see that with no like character, nothing,
Mm-hmm.
I'll just go watch Friday the 13th, right? And it's just, and
Maybe this is where they're kind of stepping on their own toes, like because you have to be invested in everyone. You have to make every character lovable, right, in their own fucking spin-off on TV
No,
and
but-
their
but
comic
they-
book and
but they've
whatever.
done it, but-
and then
Yeah. I'm like, they've been able to
No,
do it.
yeah,
Like,
you're
they've been
right.
able to
You're
string
right.
it along.
Yeah.
Like,
And they-
because this movie is, like I said, it's a continuation of Wanda,
Hmm.
Doctor Strange, Spider-Man, and I had forgotten What If, the What If animated series on Disney Plus, because all of the like the whole I guess we kind of lead into some of the fan service in this movie is you get Captain Carter, which is Agent Carter, but if she had taken the super serum instead of
wait, can I just look?
Or-
I don't even want to get into that because it pisses me off because I remember when we reviewed Spider-Man, right? I said the cameos, as great as they are not what makes this movie great. What makes this movie great is the story. You think about that movie, think about when those characters came to Peter, when he was at his lowest, right? When they needed him, you know? They were in the service of the story. This one, you see the cameos, and they mean nothing.
Yeah.
They mean zero. At least to me.
That's
they
why I said
did.
like they're very, like I said, that's that on the fan service for certain reasons. Like they're like, oh, let's kind of do this. It's very fan servicey in that there was no real setup for it. It just kind of was like boom.
They're just there to get blown up.
Yeah, it's like they're part of the storyline in the comics, but there is no build up to them
Even
showing up.
But
really.
look, even if you set aside, let's say you're okay with the way they treated Wanda. Characters have to have development, right? They have to have growth in the movie, right? And if you think about what is Doctor Strange's what is his development in the movie? Can you tell me? He's
learns
not
to help someone
he's
out.
not willing to kill a child. That's the only development that he gets. Because you learn that other versions of him have wanted to kill America
So he's
too.
pro-life all of a
Yeah,
sudden.
and he makes a decision at the end. No, I'm not going to do that. And that's the only development that he gets. So, and that's just, it's cheap.
Yeah.
And like, look, if you're going to have a character who's like super cocky and like always breaks the rules, you need to have them face consequences because you've
Yeah.
had that. You've had those characters like Kirk and fucking Star Trek because he's like that too.
Yeah.
And he's had his moments where it's like that comes back to bite him, right? And those are like really good moments. So
Yeah.
what you should have had in this movie, the role should have been reversed. Is that you should have had him lose maybe his girlfriend, the Rachel McAdams character, right?
Oh.
You should have had him lose her. He goes to Wanda to say, hey, how could I find her? Because you have experience in the multiverse,
Yeah.
right? Oh, yeah, I do. But you might not want to do it because of this and that, right?
Yeah.
No, I'm going to do it anyways. And then they start fighting, right?
Yeah.
Imagine how compelling that would have been. And then he has to learn to let things go. That his
Yeah.
way is not always going to work.
But then how are you going to introduce our new character?
That's what pisses me
Ah,
off.
the
And
Disney
look,
dilemma.
And look, I like the fact that you had a little Mexican girl, Sochi's like, dude, that's so cool. And then she says neta. And I was like,
She doesn't speak Spanish.
Yeah, she
No, she doesn't. She speaks Spanish, yes.
Yeah.
But no. It's like the kids on Spy
Oh.
Kids. You know,
Well, yeah,
the
she's
kids
not
like,
just
yo quiero
sprinkled it in.
zapatos como
But it-
esos. Like, it,
Yeah.
they don't, I speak better Spanish
Yeah,
than she did. Like,
but
don't do that
But what
shit.
I thought was funny is that she begins the movie speaking Spanish, and then they just forget about it.
Yeah, of
And it's
course.
like, well, you're gonna do it. But that's the thing. It's like you could have. There was so much potential here, and everything was just like,
That's why I said like it.
Is-
I'm like I'll probably just downgrade too.
yeah,
It's like yeah, because it like I said, like
changed
even
your
then, like I
mind.
said, it was like it was an okay movie. Like I wasn't like I said, like it was good, not great. Like it wasn't like necessarily all that. Hence why I said like it's a very bridge movie because it's setting up. It's like kind of America's been like
yeah. But
criticizing
they've
like
been able to
but like
do
other
good stuff before with that.
yeah like
Yeah.
it's a bridge movie, but like it just really didn't. Like it only brought stuff kind of together, and then it just be like, like I think it was just almost just culminate to having a Fantastic Four kind of fucking being. Well, that's the thing, because of
None
that.
of it
No,
matters. Zero. None of it matters.
Yeah.
It was a cheap.
Meaningless.
Yeah, it's a cheap way to try to bring these characters that you finally were able to acquire after so many years, and it was kind of a cheap way. There was no build up to it.
I'm
There's
America
no real.
right now. I don't give a fuck.
No. I know, but like thinking about like
I know what you're saying.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it just meant
yeah,
nothing
thinking
to me.
like in this fucking universe, like because like everybody's been begging for a fucking Fantastic Four movie. They announced it that they're making it, and then spoiler alert: John Krasinski is Mr. Fantastic, which has been a fan cast for years. Everybody's been begging for it, and you kind of get it. So that's why I said like that's one fan service because they actually
get it.
cast him. And then
That was weird.
which one? The
John.
did you
Wait,
get that
saw
far?
that?
Yeah.
You got that far?
Oh, so how? Okay, yeah.
That's pretty
So I
far.
saw. Yeah, how far into the movie? Because
That's like halfway into the
left,
movie.
I left when they said, "Oh no, you might not be dealing with Wanda. You might be dealing with the Scarlet Witch." How far is that? Is that halfway?
Because if you saw that, that's about halfway.
Or is that like an hour? Because like that's
If you
a long
saw
fucking
John
ti-
Krasinski,
Yeah,
that's
'cause
probably
that's a
halfway.
long
Yeah.
time. That's why I'm telling you, like, it's a long time to tell us something we already knew. She told us, like, what the fuck?
We learned that in WandaVision.
Yeah,
but,
and like,
but that's the thing. I think Well, I guess
that makes the whole entire thing before that like fucking irrelevant. Like America couldn't have jumped through her stupid ass hole like into the middle of the movie. You know? Like, why?
Yeah, this movie's not perfect. The start.
Not even good.
The start of the Phase 4 is on shaky ground right now.
It's really disappointing. And no, I've been on board with it. This felt so cheap. And let's move on because I don't want to talk about it anymore.
All right, so
there's only 3 more. All right, so this will be quick because it's fucking terrible. It's called Firestarter.
oh, this remake.
Yeah. So
Oh, it's a remake?
Yes,
it's a remake of a adaptation of a Stephen King novel.
because I think the first one had Drew Barrymore.
It's in the 80s. I was actually kind of looking forward to this because I had seen the original. It's fine, but it's very 80s. And Blumhouse is from Blumhouse. And I was like, wow, if they do something like they did with The Invisible Man, put a new spin on it, make it kind of creative, they could really have something here because the source material was great, right? It was so unbelievably awful. It's delete. And it's deleted. Probably going to be the worst movie of the year.
Well, it's got your Razzie.
Literally everything. It's funny. You know how like...
Even then, like that movie had like almost zero marketing. Yeah. And it's like you'd see a trailer sprinkled like here and there.
Yeah.
And like
I knew it was dead on arrival. But like when I hate like comparing movies to books, but like when you see an adaptation, it's disappointing because they just take like the cool parts and leave out all the story, like the character,
They just took the premise of like a girl that can set fires with her mind.
This one did the opposite. It left out all the cool stuff in the book, and it's just like it has an incomprehensible story, and it felt amateur. It literally felt the acting. It felt very wooden. It was like the delivery was like. It was like, well, you couldn't do like another take, and then like the framing, like when they do like the negative space, so they have like a person like on one side and the rest, like that can be effective when you're telling a good story. But here, just like, why are you doing that? Yeah. Some of the death scenes were laughable. Like it's just the way it was. Wait, you saw it, America?
Yes, I did. Yeah.
Like when the lady, she like hugs her dad. She's like, if you kill him, or you kill me, you're gonna. That was laughable. Yeah. Like it was laughable. The only good thing, and it pisses me off that it's even in there, is that they hired John Carpenter to do the score. Okay. So it has this really cool like synth score and all that. But I was like, that is so fucking unfair and lazy that you would go and hire the master of horror to do your fucking score and put it on this piece of shit.
I was like, they couldn't get him to direct or they got him to do the music.
They did not fucking deserve it. The one from the 80s was okay, but this one makes it look like fucking the Citizen Kane of horror movies. Oh man, it was so disappointing.
It was terrible. Yeah. It's as terrible as the trailer. Yeah. Deleted. Because you'd think that even what's his name, like guy Zac Efron, right? Like he's in enough bad movies that maybe by this one, like he'd be a little better. Like, and still, it's just like, bro. How did you even like get into acting in the first place? Like
his delivery was so bad. Except for a little girl, maybe.
No, not even.
Because it's just the movie is just about like a little girl that has the ability to set fires with her mind.
Yeah, right? But look again. I hate comparing this to the story, but the book is such a. It's basically from the first page you feel because they're on the run basically from this government agency that wants her, right? From the first page you feel the despair. And it's this dad just trying to protect his little girl that he loves. And you feel that the whole way through. This one, you feel? Zero. It's like you take out all the exciting stuff. Even like in the book and the original movie, there's this big set piece, like on a farm. She like blows up a bunch of cars and all that. That should be like the central set piece in the movie, the coolest part. They left that out completely of this movie. Like, how are you going to take the best part?
What did they replace it with?
Some bullshit.
I think it's probably when she blows up the cops, right? When the cops show up, or no?
But she runs away. She ends up just running away.
Oh, that's what you get. Sorry. I also hated this. I mean, the mom was like, "Oh my god, we should teach her how to use her powers," and Dad's like, "No, she can't learn how to use her powers." And then the lesson at the end of the day is she should have learned to use her powers. But why isn't Dad so against it?
That's what pissed me off too, because like I said, in the novel, you feel the love. Like this dad is just trying to save this kid. You know that.
Yeah.
You know she didn't ask those powers, but like he like loved. At the end of the day, he's doing everything because he loves her. He wants to protect her.
Supposedly.
This one, you wonder, like, does this motherfucker even like
Oh, so
her?
this is the anti-Encanto and everywhere.
She literally hates his child.
She ends up killing the child. Ends up killing her mom on accident because she wanted to kill, or I guess hurt the dad.
Yeah.
Just to begin with, and like I didn't really understand why did she want to hurt the dad to begin with?
Because he was being mean to her.
Because he kept
He was telling her not to use it.
So
Yeah,
Like suppress it.
yeah.
he was like,
You know.
¿Por qué no eres una niña normal?
And this is, I don't know. Wow.
Yeah, it was
this
just
movie.
terrible.
Yeah.
She kills a cat at one point.
That's not in the book. That's not anything.
They're just
And
like,
it
people
doesn't
like cats.
add anything.
This will make her evil.
And what's mind-boggling is that it doesn't add anything to anything. Why is that there?
Well,
She
I mean,
blows up
for
a
fun.
cat.
It reminds me of
They just
our
slept in their truck
psychoanalysis, where it's just like, why did they add him?
Why?
You know,
Jerking off.
yeah.
Anyways, let's move on because this movie was terrible.
Bad Guys. Did you guys
the
watch Bad
anime
Guys?
movie?
Yeah.
No.
No.
I'm gonna give it an out. The animation was kind of cool. It's just there's not really a story.
It was just a reason just to use the Billie Eilish in the trailer.
Yeah, I like the trailer. I like the trailer. I was like, ooh.
Like it was fine. It was these criminals, right? They kind of lived together, like Cruella de Vil. Whatever the fuck the movie
The
was called
live
last
action
year.
one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like that, you know, like a little group of criminals. They get what happened? Did they get arrested? I don't know. Fuck it. They get arrested maybe, right? And then they're like, no, you're going to be sent to like fucking, you're going to get arrested for life or something. I don't know. And they kind of like swindle their way into looking like good guys, but then they're bad guys, but then they're good guys, and then it's over.
They're stealing for the good
So they had to
reason.
do like a good mission to kind of get out
Yeah,
of their
they
thing?
were essentially like had to like rehab themselves,
like
right?
a Suicide Squad.
Yeah, sure, yeah. And it turns out like that the little cute thing, the little creature who just won the humanitarian award or whatever, like he's the real evil guy. But
They're using their
maybe kids like this movie. I don't know.
Is the Billie Eilish song in it?
I don't know.
they just used it.
I don't
They just
know.
used it for the marketing.
I don't know. I don't remember. So yeah, it was like
It's that forgettable.
yeah. This was like maybe 2 weeks ago that I watched it. So like
Oh, man.
I think I should remember more. But
Yeah.
I don't. But it's all right.
All right. I got another one. This one's more recent because I just saw it last week. It's another A24 movie. It's another apple on the table for 2 hours. And this one was really an apple on the
It
table.
literally
let me
has
tell you.
apples.
Yeah. It's called Men.
Dun, dun, dun.
It's directed by hold on.
An apple.
Senor Apple.
It's directed by Alex Garland. And I bring that up because he's a very accomplished screenwriter and he's made some good films. He wrote 28 Days Later.
Sure.
Like,
He wrote this one?
he wrote and directed this
Yeah.
one. And it stars that girl who's like in every like art house movie right now.
Yeah, I like
Jessie
her.
Buckley.
Yeah.
I gotta say, okay, here's the thing. Had you asked me right walking out of the theater, I would have been a delete. Because I would have been like, fuck this shit.
Not all men.
Yeah, I'm not like that.
Well, what's the premise?
Oh yeah.
Men are scary.
Yeah, the premise is like men suck, therefore being a woman kind of sucks.
Yeah.
What's the
No,
story?
It's
I was
what
like,
you would
what's the
expect
story?
of a man writing a movie.
Wait,
called
wait,
Men.
okay. So for real, it's this woman who like gets like this Airbnb like in like the
Nowhere?
the country like in the
Shrek
middle of
land.
nowhere because she just wants to go get away from it all because her husband recently killed himself because she wanted to divorce him. So she wants to
So
get
she's
away
scarred.
from
She
it. So
wants to
she's
get away.
scarred from it, and it turns out that this little town she goes to, like all the men there are evil and they just want to like kill her. So shit starts happening. So yeah, I would have been delete walking out of it because I was just like, what the fuck. I'll be a little bit nicer and give it an out. Why? Because look, right off the bat, I said it that the movie's about men suck, therefore It sucks being a woman, right? That's the message of the movie, right? The problem is that you get that message literally like 5 minutes into the movie, and nothing else changes after that.
Yep.
It's just the one note the whole time.
Yeah.
And at the end, when you get like this, what's supposed to be like the big reveal, like this is what's happening. You're like, motherfucker, we saw that in the first scene.
Yeah.
And that was supposed to be the big thing. It's like, who the fuck do you think you are? It's like, what girl are you trying to impress? It's like, I always think of like guys that think of themselves like as like, or project themselves as like big time feminists, or like just trying to impress a girl that they like, you know? And this movie reeked of that.
Yeah.
It's like
genuine.
It felt like somebody just not really like, again, looks at Twitter and just like, well, let me make a movie about that, you know? And it's just totally just misreading everything. But again, just making it one note, right? I'm not against the message trying to tell, but like if I get it in the first 5 minutes and now I have to sit through an apple on the table for 2 hours, it's like I'm gonna hate my time, you know? Yeah. And the only way you might enjoy this movie is if you watch it like in a full house and just everybody's laughing at it. Because we did get a little bit of that. But the thing is, I went to a matinee. Like I literally went to the first screening. So there wasn't a lot of people there. But I had imagined if I would have watched in a packed house and everybody, because it was ridiculous.
So this is getting into the Room territory.
Almost. It's that fucking ridiculous.
It's gonna be fan interaction.
That might be the only way you really enjoy it. Now, why am I now? I will give it credit. And this is very like superficial, but the atmosphere that it creates and like the cinematography and everything, just like the framing and a lot of stuff. I wish more horror movies would be like that. Especially coming something off of Firestarter where you literally couldn't see anything. Everything was murky. And just like the editing was so horrible. This one had like shots for like, it reminds me of like Halloween, like the way that was framed. Like you have a character and there's something scary in the background, you know? And like using the frame to build like atmosphere and suspense. Like that's good directing. I just wish the story wasn't so full of itself. So, you know?
So technically it works. Just
on a technical level, yes.
Yeah, like
really,
on a technical,
like even the lighting, like
just
you know,
the production.
A lot of the cinematography, like at night now, you can't see shit because it wants to be like realistic. This one you could see everything, especially at night. And the way it uses like sometimes lights turn off and things come up. It's like that's real good directing. Yeah, you know, I just wish it wasn't so full of itself.
So yeah, like
I take it you watched it, America.
Yeah, I also watched it last weekend. And I liked all the aspects that we just talked about. It's pretty. It's scary. It's effective in that way. But I'm going to have to delete it because
just the story.
It just really is a movie titled Men, which is supposed to be like, oh my God, that's outrageous. How dare you say men are evil? You know, and as a woman, like I should be able, oh my God, this whole time? Like, should this be my experience? Because like, yes, men are scary. I have had like, I can't count on my hands how many like scary interactions I've had in my life. And yeah, men are scary, but like, it's very much what a man would write if I told him like, men are scary. This is what they've done. You know? And it's just like, bro, what the fuck? Like, why did you even write this movie? Like, what was the purpose of it? Like, did you just want to torture your character? Like, who, what, huh?
There was a girl he liked. He was trying to impress.
Oh, God.
He's like,
right? You said the men feminists. Yeah. Like, what the hell, dude? Like, the entire... Ricardo and I were like, did any of this actually happen? Did she imagine? Because she's traumatized, right? Like, her husband killed herself in front of him. It's a very traumatic thing. Like, she already was not happy in the relationship. Now, all of a sudden, you find out, like, your husband, who you thought maybe was boring, now is super manipulative. You don't know who he is. And that's scary. I don't want to see somebody die in front of me, you know? So did she, you know, she obviously goes somewhere remote, which, you know, if you're somewhere you don't know, somewhere that maybe has, like, creepy vibes, like, maybe you just are going a little crazy. Like, what is it? Did things actually happen? Or is it in her mind? Like,
and that's the thing. It's like, well, what are you trying to say? Because like the movie leads you one way. Because when she gets to the town, she meets one person, one guy, and it ends up being that person is
he's
every
like possessing everyone in the town.
Every guy in the town is him.
Yeah.
And they all have the same face. Like
did the sister kind of look like them?
Just a female version?
Well, because they were doing stuff with the phone, right? So I imagine they did some stuff to fuck with it, right?
Oh, he scared me.
But But that's the thing. It leads you to believe is this some sort of surreal thing where it's not really happening? But then they make it very clear at the end that it did happen.
The car is there. It's beat up. So something happened. Even if she maybe just made it all up. She just crashed her own car. But I don't think she did.
Yeah.
But like.
It was all a concussion dream.
Are you going to throw up? Yeah, like it just...
Because then that makes it even more insulting, right?
Yeah.
Is that, this girl is just going crazy.
Yeah.
And that's what you're saying?
The audacity to write this movie about female struggles as a man with no
but
actual
it turns out
real
that she's just actually
meaning.
crazy.
Yeah.
Right?
So the moral story is men aren't evil, women are just crazy.
Male screenwriters are
Oh my
evil.
god.
Women be crazy.
That's brilliant. If it turns it on its head.
So women be crazy. That's the thing. That's the real message.
If women was so crazy, then we'd be all fine.
It's all their fault.
It's not men. It's women.
Yeah.
This whole time. Damn.
It's them hormones.
I mean, like the movie was effective at scaring me. Like I really was watching from behind my popcorn.
That's what I meant about the atmosphere.
Yeah, it just.
Just the story failed it.
Fuck,
it's not just the story. It's just the
execution.
Maybe the entire. Just from conception, this whole thing is a terrible idea. Why
so
are
the
you
premise
as a
just
man
doesn't work
writing
at
this
all.
movie? And to call it men, I think, is even more because that obviously is supposed to be
You know
very
what you're trying to do.
controversial.
Yeah.
You're getting the audience from there, and it's to have people say like, well, you don't know what the movie's saying yet. Like, give it a chance, and then so you capture that audience that like. Maybe it's all right. And it just, they're literally, it's just all terrible.
It's the laziness. Remember we talked about it when we talked about the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre? Where it's just throwing all these like Twitter hashtags at the movie. It's like, sure, that's fine. Look, I get it. Like being a woman is hard, but it's just, it feels like it's pandering. It's like, well, okay, is that really all you're going to say?
Yeah.
And we get it literally in the first scene.
Like it's very shallow. It's not very deep.
That's what it is.
It tries to be
It thinks
too.
it's deep.
Yeah.
But it's so
not.
shallow.
Yeah.
I read this review and it's so perfect. It's like it's a 4 feet little kiddie pool that thinks it's the
ocean.
It's the ocean, and that's really what it is.
It's true because it tries to be so biblical. Like one of the first scenes, she literally drives up to the house. There's an apple tree and she takes a bite, right?
Adam and Eve.
Should've done that.
So
there's an actual apple.
Yeah, so she's supposed to, now we know she's Eve or something, right? Like, oh no, she's in for something bad. Is she evil? What's going on? There's this
it's the whole women are the problem because we were in paradise until she took a bite of the apple and then we got kicked out of the paradise.
Yeah, but then there's this like in Green Knight, the tree fucking thing, and it has a little leaf symbol. There's a man who's like, is that
He's
Adam?
a naked man.
What a naked man, right? But he turns into a tree, and he's coming after her. I'm guessing to impregnate her because he just keeps multiplying. He keeps giving birth to himself, like different iterations,
he's a tree.
different men.
He's trying to plant his seed.
What the fuck is that? What is it supposed to be? Why is that leaf thing there? Why is it a creature? Like.
To be little man,
and it's just so full
and to
of
make it
himself.
not rapey,
like all the
even though it is rapey,
like all the imagery, like the man gives birth to another man. It's like you see
with
like
it just once the next one comes out, the next one comes out.
It's so full of itself. Like at one point, like she goes outside and you see the sky, and like when you see like the Milky Way, like it's literally in the shape of a vagina.
Okay.
It's like, really, bro? It's like,
Was
come
it
on.
really?
Did you not see that? Yeah.
When she's waiting for the sister?
I was like, huh?
When she's waiting for the sister?
When she first runs out, she's like, "I'm fuck this. I'm gonna
shit.
drive away." Right?
Damn.
I was like,
I
dude,
didn't catch
this movie is so full of itself.
Oh
it's
my
like
God.
it's disappearing into the vagina. That
Yeah.
it's, like,
it's up its own ass.
Yeah. Literally. This is literally, and it's funny because it's an A24 movie again.
Yeah.
And again, it hooked me with the trailers.
Yeah,
When I saw it's funny, every time I saw a trailer and it said men, that's the title, everybody started laughing.
I don't even think.
But I was giving,
it's
and I
true.
was like, look, it's stupid, it's ridiculous. I see that it's written and directed by a guy, but I gave it a chance. I was like, well, let's see what it, maybe he has to say something.
The
And I was like,
trailer looked scary. It looked like maybe there was going to be something.
Yeah.
There. Yeah.
It's like, if you're going to do that, you really have to, again,
Take it there.
Yeah, you have to say something.
Yeah.
And say something a little bit deeper. Like, yeah, sure, I'll agree with you, but it's like,
Fuck it. Maybe all you want to say is just men are scary.
there you go, yeah.
Just say that.
Yeah.
Why? What's with all the extra
Yeah.
nothingness? Like what? Why are there like possessions and shit? Are you gonna throw up? What's going on here? Like it's just
It's just,
you could have really just left it at like the feminine experience is scary.
Yeah. Again, we get that literally. We get that in the first scene. Literally the first scene.
Just cut to black and roll credits.
It's just like men suck. The credits just start rolling.
Yeah.
A24.
Yeah.
And it's like, of course, A24 made this shit. You know, because again, it goes to the Apple, just on, and it's like, oh my god, it's so deep. I'm like, well, no, it's not.
It's time to take out the trash.
Yeah, really bad experience. I'm almost talking myself into the lead, but I will give her credit for the
Just
the atmosphere,
for
you know.
the technical production side of it.
All right. So this is my last movie. I don't know if anybody has. You want to give me a little music deal?
Oh, okay. Okay. So this is going to be your last movie?
Yeah. Yeah. So I've been looking forward to this movie for a long time.
It's 30 years in the making.
30 years in the making. This was Top Gun Maverick. Are you kill the music now?
Hold on. We need this part. Oh, wait. I thought it was
No,
right
it's
there.
coming way later. Yeah.
Is this from
That's
the
why I told you I could have trimmed
Yeah,
it.
it's from the movie.
okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so obviously it's a sequel to a movie that came out in 1986. So it's like fucking almost 40 years in the making. Tom Cruise is back as Maverick, and he's pretty much a 60-year-old fighter pilot who has to teach a bunch of young pilots to go on to this dangerous mission because they might die. And
He's the only one that can do
and
it.
he's the only one that can
Of
do
course.
it. I love like movies about like
airplanes.
Like,
you know, and just seeing like, even when I was young, I loved the first Top Guns just because I had airplanes, like military planes, like military porn. I love all that stuff. So seeing the trailers to this and just seeing the behind the scenes, how they actually went up in F-18s and like
strapped to, like, put
like
special
the actors
cameras.
went in the planes and shot it, and just like, wow, we're gonna see like some aerial battles that are so cool. And I gotta say, this movie delivered on on everything that I was hoping it would be. So it's an in for me. It was such a throwback to like movies from the 80s, and because it had a lot of cheese. Surprisingly, it was a lot like the original, more than what I was expecting to. Had a lot of cheese, had a ridiculous plot, and it was just straightforward. Like, here's the story, here are your characters, they're gonna go on a dangerous mission, and here you go. But just the way that it was executed, the visual, it really made you feel like you were up there, like you were flying like at Mach 5 or whatever. Like, and it was so, by the end of it, like the climax, it was so exhilarating. It's like, I don't know. You remember the first time you watched Star Wars and they go into the trench?
Yeah.
That excitement you felt, you know? I felt that, dude. Like,
were like,
watching this movie, I was like, dude, it was so like my heart was pounding when they're going on their final mission. And just to feel that, I was like, man, like, I know Tom Cruise is a psychopath, you know, but and one day he's gonna die making movies, but he's gonna die giving it his all.
Yeah, he's one guy that gives it 100.
So as long as he entertains me, I don't care how crazy he is. But man, this movie was something else, man. I fucking loved it, man.
Okay, I've never seen Top Gun.
Okay.
I have eaten at a restaurant apparently where Top Gun was shot at, down in San Diego.
Oh, nice.
But I've never seen Top Gun. And like you were saying, like kind of piggybacking off of what you said about the visuals of these these dogfights.
Dogfights, yeah.
And stuff. Yeah, seeing the trailer and seeing like before the movie, there's how they have the little commercials or whatever.
Yeah.
They have like
Behind the scenes.
behind the scenes of Top Gun,
How
of
they
this
shot
one,
it, yeah.
how they shot it, how they made like special cameras, how they mounted them onto those fighter jets,
Yeah.
so they can get these cool shots or whatever. Like, it makes me want to go watch Top Gun 1,
Yeah.
so I could go watch this, because like, yeah, just the visuals. Like, if I were to have joined the military, I probably would have gone like Air Force. Like,
They're not in the Air Force, they're in the Navy.
still, but just for like, no, but like either way, like
Yeah.
there's still
Yeah.
like, airplanes.
They have
I'm just talking
planes
about
in it?
airplanes.
Yeah.
Dude, they have airplanes in like the fucking Marines. There's so much crossover
Yeah.
between. It's just stupid how they're just divided. But yeah, yeah, it's really dumb.
But
yeah, so like, it makes me want to go watch it.
you definitely should.
Like, I just didn't have time to watch the first one.
at the very least, even
And to
for
go
like
watch-
America, you will be entertained. Like,
Maybe John Hamm's in it. Right?
yeah, he is, and he's really good.
How
thing
much
is, like,
volleyball is there in this?
no, it's a football game. This one.
Oh, there's
yeah,
this
but
one
they
right
do
there.
do it. Yeah. This is the thing. Like, for me, like movies, like with visual effects and all, like action movies, like I've always felt like it's a director is like a magician. They're supposed to fool you. It's supposed to make you. Well, how do they do that? You know, like how did they film?
It's the
two
suspension
planes
of disbelief. You have to
It
believe.
makes you because a Marvel movie, you know, they make it on the computer, right?
Yeah.
and it looks like a cartoon, and that's fine, whatever. But stuff like this, stuff that makes you think, like, wow, like there's fucking two like fighter planes, like how do they film this? You know,
So close
and
to
when
each
they
other.
cut to them in the cockpit, they are in the cockpit, and it's like, how the fuck did they do this? Like, it looks so real. That's what makes you buy into what's happening. And I don't know, man. I'm gonna go see this. I'm gonna take my mom to watch it because she loves Tom Cruise.
It seems like a mom.
Tomas Cruz?
It's very. Here's the thing: the movie's for everybody because it's not gonna offend anybody. You know, it's not gonna challenge you in any way. It's not men, you know, because again, it's just like throwback to just a simple story. You know, obviously it's like military porn, but it works.
It's gonna be used as a recruitment video.
Oh, totally,
Oh, no.
totally.
Dude, that whole sequence
In the first, you know, after
in that
the first one,
in the behind the scenes thing, like it's all like these are military pilots that were used to just get the far shots.
Yeah.
It's because it's just like them shooting them doing
Yeah.
like all the maneuvers or whatever.
They're like, you too can be an extra.
yeah. But you know, after
Yeah.
the first one, the military would set up recruitment tables right outside the movie. Because everybody be like, "Fuck yeah, like the Navy, let me sign up," and
Yeah.
they're gonna think they're gonna be flying
always
in jets, but
piggyback
they're gonna
off
be
of
like the cooks in the kitchens.
Oh no, I don't care if they're even cooks. I don't.
Yeah, well, like they piggyback off of stuff like
Oh,
this. Like
yeah,
when
they
Call of Duty,
love
like
that shit.
like when Call of Duty like gets big, they're like, "Hey, you know Call of Duty? You want to do that in
Dude,
real
their
life?"
fucking commercials are insane. Like, why is it a whole ass Marvel movie?
Yeah, because people buy
I
into that
hate
shit.
it.
Yeah,
I hate it.
Because they have to
It's
sell. They're
so
like, "Oh
scary.
man," and it's just like, 2 weekends a month,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
2 weeks a year or whatever. Like, oh, that's not much time. I can
you
do
get to be
that.
Tom Cruise. Like,
Your
no.
tuition's paid. You can buy a Camaro.
Yeah,
It's like you can travel
on
the
that
world.
front, yeah. But I mean, whatever.
Get married in
People
2
are gonna
weeks.
people are gonna sign up for the military, but I don't know, man. I love this movie. And I gotta tell you guys that I'll be shipping off in 2 weeks.
Oh man, you would have told me.
They've
In
taken
the
you.
Navy, you can, the 7 Seas in the Navy.
But yeah, I can't recommend this movie enough, and it's really up there. Again, America, at the very least, you will be entertained.
Okay,
You know,
maybe. I
it's
mean,
not-
it doesn't look that bad, honestly. But Tom Cruise,
You know,
I think
like-
I told you
like-
guys last time that like, I
Yeah.
don't like
No, I
his
get it.
face.
But like like in a Marvel movie where it doesn't
Yeah.
really have that much to offer if you don't know
Yeah.
like every little detail.
Uh-huh.
Like this movie does have a lot to offer.
Yeah,
you
I
know?
can imagine.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem inaccessible
Yeah.
to me. Yeah, maybe.
But that's all I got. If anybody else,
Do you really
has-
need to watch the first one to get this one?
I would say it helps. The surprising is it's more
know
of a
the
sequel
characters?
to the first one than what I was expecting.
Okay.
So it would really help.
Yeah, like like if they really
They do
touch
do a
back
good
or
job
whatever.
at fucking catching you up.
Okay.
They fucking spoon feed it to you like crazy. But yeah.
I'll start off with Bob's Burgers that I
Oh,
watched
you saw
today.
it?
Yeah. I stopped watching the actual cartoon in like maybe the first season, maybe
Yeah,
the second.
only
I don't
ever
know.
watched the
Yeah.
first season, yeah.
And like I liked it, but once I just stopped watching, I was kind of like,
Yeah, nobody watches
why
Fox.
even
Yeah.
why even get back into it? So I don't know. I just had some time, so I was like, let me go watch it. It was pretty funny. Yeah. It is just like fucking
longer
Simpsons movie or
episode?
something.
Yeah.
Yeah, like an extended episode. So I mean, I can imagine if you like this series, like you're gonna love it. It was really funny. Like the people in my theater were like, like the whole time. So if you like the show, go watch the movie. It's a good popcorn movie. Oh, I'm in.
Yeah, definitely. That was on my list to watch this weekend, so I'm gonna try to squeeze it in.
Yeah. Maybe instead of watching that one though, you should go to the Alamo Draft House and watch On the Count of 3. Because I think that's the only place that's playing it right now. It's about
very limited
two-
release.
Yeah. Dude, that's how everything is right now. Like, I don't understand. There's movies, but they're not playing anywhere. And we're in fucking LA. Like, I'm
Yeah.
legit mad that, like, there are no fucking movies.
I wonder.
How?
I wonder if that's it's going into contracts for streaming services. So they probably do the limited release so they can at least
Very
get.
limited.
No,
How is
but-
it not in Burbank?
I was gonna say,
What the hell is that?
well, they're probably doing the bare minimum to
Yeah.
be considered for anything in case,
Yeah.
like for an award or something.
But
And
it's just movies in general though. Like there's a
No.
lot of movies out that are not in theaters anywhere.
I do
really.
think it's a problem. It has to do with the pandemic because
Yeah.
for sure.
pandemic delayed everything. So you have right now to book a theater, you have this huge backlog.
Yeah.
That's
right.
true.
So it pushes a lot of those smaller movies that would have been in one Burbank, AMC, 'cause
Yeah.
they have like 20. But those are the movies that get shut out.
Yeah. So on the count of three is about two best friends. Like they grew up together in like middle of nowhere USA. Kind of dead end jobs. One of them was like molested as a kid by his therapist. And he's
no
always
bueno.
suffered from depression. I think he might be like bipolar or something. So he's got stuff going on. And the other guy is just living kind of like a dead end life. He has a long-term girlfriend who he doesn't really see things working out with. He hates his job. His friend was just hospitalized because of his mental illness. And so he goes to break him out and he tells him, I want to die. And so it's like, you want to die? I want to die. Let's do it. And I'm not going to, I guess, give you the rest of the movie. But like, it's so good. It's such a sweet movie. It's so weird to say, but it's such a sweet movie. It felt like, I don't know, dude. It was like a little therapeutic.
Wait, is this a drama? Is it a comedy? A dramedy?
Both? Yeah.
Dramedy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it's not, you'd think two people trying to commit suicide, like that's going to be like dark as fuck. But it's nice. Like it's two best friends. Like you feel like the characters like know each other, love each other. Like, what the other one is going through or whatever. And they're sympathetic to each other, So it's just like, dang. You learn a lesson by the end of it. It's nice. I mean, it's a fucked up lesson, but
Yeah.
it's nice.
I'll probably have to watch it on streaming, but it does sound. I remember when you pitched it to us, I was like, "What?"
Yeah. I don't know what the hell I watched at the ArcLight because, of course, I'm telling you, dude, AMC has nothing, and it's like basically the only option to watch movies anymore.
Yeah.
And so we're like, hey, what's at the ArcLight, the Alamo, ArcLight, R.I.P.
Isn't it supposed to be coming back?
This year?
Yeah, it said, but I don't
like
know.
they're reviving it. I think
When?
it's still in the process, but they've said I think they're going to.
I hope so.
Or at least the one in Hollywood.
Yeah. I'm like legit, dude. I'm feeling like really sad about the state of movies. Like they're closing the Lamley in Pasadena, which is my favorite theater. Like nothing is playing right now. And yes, sure, pandemic, but like with AMC doing the pass thing that basically they have everyone's money now. Like I think it's just the situation is gonna get more dire. And like we live in a giant fucking city for movies. Like that's what we're known for. Like how's this happening?
It's
like
just
it's sad.
The pandemic accelerated something that was going to happen anyway, but it's sad
rise
that
of streaming?
because everything's so fragmented now, right? It's like
That's why I have a
if
job.
you want to like, it's like that movie, right? You can put it on a streaming service and it's gonna find its audience, right?
Yeah.
Where before it would have to play, it would have to be like everything everywhere all at once, where it had to be limited.
Yeah.
People would have to talk about it, and then it would kind of go on to a few more theaters. But it's just so hard to do that now because everything's dominated by Disney. Will put fucking Doctor Strange, and it'll play literally in every theater
Yes.
that
Yeah.
theater has.
Yep.
It's-
Multiple screens. Yeah.
It's really unfortunate. Look, and again, I love big blockbusters and stuff like that, but I love the other stuff too.
Yeah.
So it is sad that, and because the ArcLight went down, we lost some of those venues where those movies could play,
Yeah.
and we really do need those back because you need those movies.
Yeah. But even, I'm telling you, like, this AMC, like, this one was where I used to go to watch movies that the Montebello or the LA ones, AMC's, did not have these movies.
Yeah, but they hurt so much with them being closed. They're
guess
trying to make up
it's
for
still
the
one
fact.
franchise, though.
But
the same fucking franchise. How come? And like, I understand that it's just in this community that they play these movies, but like, it's insane. You're still making money off of everything else. Doctor Strange is still paying your rent. Like, how are you not acquiring more fucking movies? Like, they're cheap. They're
But
cheap.
I will say though, I know we talked a little bit of shit about them earlier, but a studio like A24 is like one that's still pushing these movies out.
Yeah.
Like they are able to get them into AMC's, you know, like and stuff like that. So they're kind of like almost like the last stand, you know?
Yeah.
And that's why even though like some of the movies, like I see the trailer and I'm like, here we go, A24 again. But I
like,
will always
black and white,
like
4x3.
I seek them out, you know, because like I know we
At
have
least
to
it's something
support
different.
these things, you know. But that's people like us. Like we love movies, you know, for like the general. Like, dude, my brother, he went to see Top Gun, right? That's the first time he's gone to the theater like in 3 years.
Isn't he also a pilot?
Like,
No, the other one.
Oh, okay.
The other one, yeah.
I was just like, because that would have just been the reason. I was like, he's like airplanes.
No, but
I'm in.
it's shit, like we don't think about that. Like normal people, because like kind of movie theaters
Well, at least for
betrayed
that
them
one,
long ago.
was that
because
one more
they
nostalgia
used to be-
reasons?
No. Regardless of that, is that he doesn't go to theaters because theaters used to be something that was relatively cheap that you could take a family to. Now, fucking ticket is $20, you know? And they were like, well, our attendance is down. Well, maybe don't charge $20. Maybe go back to charging like $5.
Yeah.
And people will come
$16
back,
for a pretzel.
you know?
yeah.
And I don't know, it kind of...
I think though that it's not even like, because I don't think it's just for cinephiles like seeking out extra movies, you know. I think like the regular person will watch a movie because it's there.
No.
I don't know, because like my
Not
family isn't
anymore.
exactly like a movie, you know, like movie people, but like I have two sisters that like love to go say, oh, America, what have you seen? Like, you know, and they're kind of, you know, one of them likes Lifetime movies, but she will go watch everything just because, oh, I already watched that other movie. Let me watch this. And she's not someone who wants to make movies, is in love with movies, understands
just
everything
likes
they're saying.
stories.
You know, it's
She just like being entertained.
And that's why I think those are normal people.
No, but on that
You
same
know?
level, like again, going back to like my brother, for a lot of people, like the movie theater experience has been so like you go and there's people fucking talking, you know,
true,
shit
yeah.
like that, you know, like
Yeah.
every little thing ruins it. And they go,
Yeah.
well, why am I going to go to a movie theater
When I could
when
just watch
everything's so accessible? That movie that I really wanted
That's
to
true.
watch, I could just watch it at home.
Yeah.
For the same
Right?
price.
For the same
That's
price,
true.
if not cheaper, right?
Yeah.
So yes, they do still want to watch these things, but there's so much more options now
convenience,
that
yeah.
why even bother going to the movie?
Yeah.
You know?
That's true.
And that's what's sad.
Yeah, because
Well,
it's
come
like
back.
I just finished working. I came home or whatever. I'm tired.
Yeah.
I really don't want to leave.
Yeah.
Whatever. I already took my pants off. I'm just gonna put it. It's like I'm just gonna
Yeah.
put it on. I'm just like I'll just on demand it
Yeah.
and just like just
Not
watch
to
it
deal
here.
with somebody fucking talking and
Yeah.
throwing
Yeah.
popcorn and spilling.
I can go to the
it.
bathroom, not miss
Yeah.
anything. I
Yeah.
can make my own food here. Order a
So
pizza.
yes, they still want to seek out those things. It's just
Everybody's just more
not
of,
at the theater because it's not
Stupid
convenient.
ass
Everyone's just being more introverted.
Well,
I do have one movie.
I just
one
saw your
more
phone,
that
and I
forgot.
believe
Yeah.
that's the only other one that I have.
So I guess this will be the last one, right?
Yeah.
Let's wrap it up.
So,
Give me the sound.
do you want this one?
Yeah, it's the last one. You can take it away.
All right. So, this last movie just recently got released on Disney Plus. It's a live action adaptation or continuation or whatever you want to call this of Rescue Rangers called the Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers.
Yeah.
So it's the whole premise is Chip and Dale are former actors that were on the Rescue Rangers cartoon that was on TV in the 90s. And along the lines of a Roger Rabbit, something happens and they have to kind of even though they were actors, they go and try to be actual detectives using their knowledge of what they had.
They exist in the real world.
Yeah, they
as
exi-
cartoons.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
there's like hence like the Roger Rabbit kind of comparison. This is cartoons living amongst humans. They're interacting. Everybody knows they're a cartoon and they're human.
Yeah.
There's a lot of cameos in this movie.
Yeah.
Like wasn't expecting that much, and power to them
Surprising.
for getting it done. I think I saw I forgot who it was, but like one of the director or producers, whatever, they hardly get thanked, but he thanked the lawyers for being able to get this movie
That's
done.
funny. Yeah.
Because
getting all the clearances.
because like famously,
We never thought this was gonna happen again.
yeah, because famously, like when Roger Rabbit came out, it was at that time mind like blowing that you
Unheard of,
had
yeah.
Mickey Mouse and Bugs Bunny on the screen at the same time,
Yeah.
interacting with each other. Like these two studios who, for long periods of time had been trying to fight for your attention as a kid,
Yeah.
came together and kind of set aside and, let them use these characters with a lot of restrictions. Hence why you had Bugs Bunny and Mickey Mouse appearing at the same time, because no one
Equal
could
screen
upstate.
time?
Yeah, it had
Damn.
to be because it was a Disney film.
Yeah.
Warner Brothers didn't want Bugs Bunny to be outstaged by Mickey Mouse, so they're
Damn.
both on screen at the same time
Yeah.
for the same amount of time.
That's hilarious.
That's how they settled that. They're
Yeah.
like in together, out together.
Fuck.
So this is a true spiritual successor
Yeah,
to Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
yeah. I thought it was funny. It's very like thinking of the premise and all that stuff. It was surprisingly entertaining, fun, funny. I'm in. Like it was just kind of surprising. Like like I said, going with the premise, you're like, oh, it's a Disney Plus movie.
Yeah.
Like it was fun. What about you, Robert?
Yeah, I'm on the same boat. I'm an in. It's surprising, like, because
Like
I don't know, like
super
it
cheesy.
could have easily been like some of the other movies we talked about, where it was lazy, where it just had those things.
Could have been a
and-
Space
and-
Jam.
Yeah, and not
there you go.
and not
It wasn't
have a good
that.
story,
It
right?
was better.
Yeah.
And it was a price. And look, I never watched the Rescue Rangers, Chippendale. Like, I never
Yeah,
watched
it was.
So I had no connection to this, but it was really good. It had a good story. What's surprising to me is that they released this on Disney Plus. I was like, this is good enough to have been in the theater.
Yeah.
I wonder why they didn't do it. But another thing that was surprising is like, because they do take a lot of shots at a lot of different things.
Yeah.
And it's like, wow, like they really, it was a lot more adult oriented. I guess
Yeah.
because Roger Rabbit was too. than
Yeah,
I was expecting.
that movie was
Yeah.
pretty much not for kids. Like,
Yeah.
just looking at Jessica Rabbit, that movie is not for kids.
And this one I think follows in that same like path, because there was a lot of things that they did. I was like, wow, like they really, I can't believe that even Disney's properties, like, I
Yeah.
can't believe they let him do that
Yeah.
to those characters. Like it was surprising. But I mean at the core of it, I liked the story. It had a nice little emotional story that I really got into. So super around on this one. I really liked it.
I only got to watch half of it,
Oh, okay.
but
Do you want to? No,
I'm still in though.
Okay.
It was so funny. Like everything is just so wild that happens in the movie, but and it's just like, holy shit, like am I really watching this?
yeah, like it just works. It should like you know technically it should work because Roger Rabbit, but like
Yeah.
at least this version, this premise, this whole idea,
The movie
Yeah.
on its own works.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's like kind of outrageous. I need to finish watching it because it's fucking hilarious.
Okay, we can.
But
Gotta
it's
keep
like-
some of the spoilers.
Yeah. Oh, but one of the things though that Peter Pan,
Yeah.
right? The first kid to play Peter Pan or something like that. His story is essentially that guy's story. They found the guy's body because he was like Peter Pan, and then he stopped getting roles, and he ended up like some meth head or something. And they found his
Really?
body at some point, and he ended up in where they bury all the homeless people together. And they didn't find out that he was dead until like somebody, like I think his mom went looking for him or something,
Ugh.
and they poked fun of that
Yeah.
in the movie. And I was like, oh.
That's
Oh,
also,
that's a
see, I didn't
little
even know
dark.
that.
Yeah.
But I was surprised that they did that with Peter Pan. I was like,
Yeah.
they're really like, that's a real shot.
Yeah.
You know, it's something like because they do it to like Paramount's character like Sonic, right? They take a shot at that, right? And it's all fun and
Yeah.
games. But then
That's
they do it to their own stuff, and I was
Yeah.
like, wow.
I'm like, yeah, it's especially Disney. Yeah, like you said, like it's very shocking, especially with Disney with their properties. They tend to be very protective.
Yeah.
And I think there's one character that I didn't see in this movie, and I'm pretty sure they kept them out of it because of that.
Mickey?
Actually, I think the Fab was it 4?
Is Mickey in it?
I didn't see him. That's the thing. Like I think the Fab 4 weren't in this movie.
Donald wasn't in it.
Because I didn't think I saw Scrooge McDuck was
Yeah.
but like Donald, Daisy, Mickey, Minnie, Goofy, Pluto, or 5 or whatever, 6 or whatever. I didn't see them in there, so I think they kept those guys.
There are hidden Mickeys.
There's
No, that's what I said.
Holy.
Like there's like hints or whatever but like
the characters.
actual
You can't
characters.
corrupt them.
Yeah.
Those are the coveted ones. Those are the protected ones.
That's so funny.
Everybody else apparently is fair game.
But yeah, this movie's really good. Everybody should watch it.
Yeah, like
And it should have been released in theaters.
I forgot what. I think they just get better. They get more money out of it if they release it.
They obviously value their streaming service more than anything else now. So
Yeah. Because they already own the box office, essentially.
Yeah.
They already they know they're going to have
yeah,
the audience there.
Was it the meeting of the Seth Rogans?
that was really funny.
That was hilarious.
Yeah, the Uncanny Valley when they go there and you see the cats from Cats. That was my favorite
Oh,
part.
yeah.
Dude, like you have characters from. Let's see. There's a little bit of everything. Yeah, you even have Stan Marsh.
Yeah,
And is it
Who's that?
South Park, one of the dads.
yeah. Is this Stan? Yeah, right, Stan.
Yeah.
Yeah, go watch it. Like if you have Disney Plus, it's on there. It's funny. Like it's watch
Do
it
a
with your
double
kids.
feature. Watch Men and then watch Chip and Dale because that's what I do.
That's
I
a
went
double
to see
feature from
Men.
hell.
Horrible
I went to
taste
see
of
Men in the
in your mouth.
morning, and then I saw Chip and Dale at night.
So that's our not so flash reviews on those movies.
Our April and May wrap ups. Let's call it.
So yeah, either go to the movies. Go
Yes.
Watch
Please
some of
go
the
to the
theaters,
movies, please.
go support some of these probably smaller movies, so we can get more of these smaller movies out there. And get more, I guess, diversity in the type of films that are coming to our movie theaters. And then make up your mind on if you agree with us on what we said on some of these movies.
Especially Men.
Damn, we get bashed for that take.
It's gonna be that one guy on on social media who's like, you
It's
guys are
Kevin.
completely wrong.
Kevin,
Oh, yeah.
Our one listener that's not in the podcast.
Yeah.
So if you want to talk to us, you can go to our podpage.com/in-out-delete, where you can link to our socials and yell at us for being idiots and getting movies wrong, or seeing if we agree, if you agree with what we said.
It's all praise.
Yeah, and then you can link to all our location of where we're located, so you can continue downloading our podcast and leaving us comments of continuing.
It's okay if they're hate comments.
Yeah, continually yelling at us that we suck and we should delete this. We're like, you should delete yourself.
Did you get that
Oh,
comment?
No, but I'm pretty sure there's somebody out there that's got it on the draft somewhere.
Don't delete yourself.
Go delete
Moral of the
yourself.
story.
So tune in and find out what movies we talk to next time. Goodbye.
Bye.